How's it going out there, my fellow world patriots? It is indeed. What is the date today, dude? Oh my goodness. Sunday, November 16th, 2025. And I am excited to finally bring in, and in no part is his fault. My weak body got sick the last time we were supposed to do an interview together, but I'm glad to have Mr. Ivan Raiklin here to get today, a.k.a. Are we still going with the Secretary of Retribution?
Yeah, I'm trying to motivate this cowardly government that's
Yes.
captured by foreign interests as well to actually conduct the necessary punishment for the last 11 years of treason. Just like Maria Bartiromo was asking Cash this morning on her show. Same question she asks him, Lindsey Graham. I mean, their definition of accountability is a little different than mine.
I
My
agree.
definition is maximum punishment, like to the maximum, without equivocation, immediate. But we haven't seen that. So
No, I agree, and we have a lot of people too that have the same feelings, right? And you have a so here's a funny thing, right? And so when we have people, you have a very good following. A lot of people love to watch you, but you also have a little anti fanboy, but that comes with the territory.
I
Yeah,
revel in the
but that comes with the territory, though, right? And it's so if you're not like loved,
IDS,
yeah, if you're not loved by
Ivan
a lot.
derangement syndrome.
Same as TDS. So if you're not loved by a lot, you're not going to be you're not going to have your little fan crew of the antis as well. But and I could see why some people would say like, oh, whatever, you're having Ivan on. I'm like, dude, what is he saying that's wrong? Is he wrong about what he's saying? Like, I don't think you're wrong about saying we need to see more. And then some would taper that with saying, well, if Trump just gets in office and all of a sudden, and I've said this myself, if he just gets into office and immediately perp walks people right out the door, they're already calling him a king. They're already calling him a this or that. So, I mean, do they need to set the narrative and
Might
kind
as
of
well
wake
play
people
into
up?
it. Might as well prove it right.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We all win. Here's the problem that this year has been squandered. And so I would say on January 17th, this administration is, I don't even know what's going to happen at that point. They're going to get destroyed.
What's January
President Trump,
17th?
his family, his cabinet, his staff, his supporters. So the Democrats, we saw what they do. Okay, they go completely scorched earth, unlawfully. There's no you don't even need a reason for them to be able to go after people. They do it just because they can when they're in power, right?
Yep.
And so on January 17th of 2026, about 2 months away from now, that's what they're going to do. And I warned about this months ago, but no one really paid attention. Like, whatever. There's nothing going on. Most important thing other than DC is to have control over Virginia. Why? Because a majority of the national security apparatus, majority of those that work in the federal government live or work in DC, or excuse me, in Virginia after DC. So then when you have a Democrat stronghold DC, and you now have on January 17th of 2026 a Democrat stronghold because Abby Spamberger, who happens to be a John Brennan acolyte lackey surrogate, becomes the governor in Virginia on January 17th. She's sworn in. And her attorney general, Jay Jones, gets sworn in on January 17th of 2026. And by that period of time, the previous week to that in January, is when the Democrat House and the Democrat Senate is sworn in. You have a trifecta in Virginia, and their sole purpose is to destroy Trump and everything related to Trump. Because now they're going to be able to take what Jack Smith wasn't able to do. They're going to take what Fani Willis and Alvin Bragg weren't able to do in Manhattan and Fulton and just do it in Loudoun County and Fairfax County. Oh, by the way, Jay Jones is going to do what Letitia James was not able to do. In addition to that, they're going to defend and protect the law, I guess, accountability, whatever you want to call it, against Letitia James, because that's being done, even though it's a federal district court. That federal judge still and the court still live in Virginia. So if they want to punish and destroy anyone involved in trying to go after lawfully Letitia James, Jay Jones and Abby Spamberger are going to ruin those individuals. Additionally, for those golf courses, the golf course in Trump National in Loudoun County, Virginia, I would expect it to be seized on January 17th by a Democrat AG and a Democrat governorship. And oh, you know what? And if they currently don't have the power to do that, the Democrat House and Democrat State Senate is going to pass a law basically saying, oh, if you are a Trump and you own property in Virginia, we're going to seize it, confiscate it. We're going to ruin you. So for those people who are like, oh, Ivan, just wait. Trump's got 4 years. Okay, we'll concede. Trump has 2 years until the House, until he loses the House, and then they start impeaching him and ruining him. I've always said that the Virginia elections in 2025 are going to be where the Democrats are going to destroy this administration. Absolutely destroy. What are your questions?
So one state. So you're saying basically Virginia. They're going to start attacking him out of Virginia. Abby Spamberger and Now Jay Jones. That was the guy that said he wanted to kill people. Oh yeah. Oh, we saw how that worked, but it didn't end up working out in the end for them. And hopefully, these guys
so his attorney, who's currently the deputy attorney general, Todd Blanche, is winless. Right? In every single defense he tried to defend President Trump from, he's winless, meaning his record is 0. He lost every single case. You think he's going to win in Virginia?
What are your thoughts on Todd Blanche? But so, let me preface that first, because I saw an interview with an older gentleman, Peter Tickton, I guess, was longtime friends and attorney with President Trump. But he contended, and I don't know how long ago the interview was. I think it was in the last few months. But he was saying basically that Todd Blanche was blocking what Trump was trying to do. I don't know if you've seen any of that or.
I have. So you're referring to an interview that Peter Tickton did on Emma Robinson's show?
Yes.
And then it was picked up by Alex Jones and amplified?
Correct.
And so I talked to a lot of people in and out of government, and then those that have access to this current government, okay? Unanimously, the people that I talk to, unanimously, can't say a positive thing about Todd Blanche, okay? Unanimously. Now, the question is, why is that? What is he doing that we don't know? Or what is he not doing that we don't know? Or we do know? I mean, I'm going to go down the list.
Sure.
And the problem shouldn't just be on Todd Blanche, although, Pam Bondi's busy living in Florida and doing Fox News hits, okay? So she's kind of tied up. She doesn't have time to be the attorney general. That's kind of like beneath her, okay? So then who runs the DOJ? Well, Todd Blanche is the one that's doing the day-to-day operations at the DOJ. And you have the ability to share screen, right?
Yep, I'm sharing right now. So basically everything you're seeing back here. You want me to pull something up
so
or you want to share?
Can you pull up a name for me?
Sure can.
Do a quick search and then type in Jolene Ann Lauria. That's Jolene. Last name Lauria. And find the link where it has her bio on the Department of Justice's website. There you go. Assistant Attorney General, Jolene Ann Lauria. I think she's very important for people to memorize who she is until we remove her from our Department of Justice. Because Pam Bondi, apparently, she just loves her. Why does she love her? Well, because I guess Jolene says a lot of positive things to Pam Bondi and says, oh, Pam, you're the best person ever. You're so awesome. You're the best. Please continue to be the best And please continue to do your thing on Fox News. I love watching your Fox News hits. You're so effective. You look so beautiful. That hairdo and your dresses and your clothing, just beautiful. You just fit the TV screen perfectly, Miss Pam Bondi. And don't be deterred by those calling you Scam Blondie or Pam Blondie. Disregard them. You're doing a fantastic job. You get my point?
Oh yeah, fluffing her
Okay, you
up.
get my point.
Yep.
Now, who is Jolene Ann Loria? I'm gonna before I go into her background, have you ever heard of this name?
To be honest with you, no, but it looks like she's the assistant attorney general. But no,
More
I.
importantly, let's look at her bio.
All right.
Was appointed assistant attorney general for administration on December 21st of 2023. So who would have appointed her in that position? Who was the illegitimate, belligerent resident of
Gee, I don't know.
defacing our White House?
I don't think anybody knows who was running the show then, but yeah, that would not have been the Trump that would have not have been the Trump administration.
Okay. So, exactly. So, in this role, Miss Loria is also the department's chief financial officer. Let's pause there.
Uh-oh.
Chief financial officer. What does a financial officer normally do in an organization?
Go over the finances, make sure
Okay. What
like
else?
accountant, controller, things like that.
Has the ability to see and and make decisions on all things money
Yep,
for the
absolutely.
Department of Justice.
In-
Well, what does that mean?
Investigations, resources.
Well, that means what? That means she has the ability to influence and sway decision-making process and allocation of funds to any entity, organization, mission, or activity. Would that be fair?
I would say correct. Yeah.
Okay. And it's designated agency ethics official. Okay. So she's the one that decides who's operating ethically and who isn't.
Oh, great.
Okay. She's responsible for department-wide financial reporting, the annual financial statement, budget from formulation and execution. Formulation and execution. Is that significant power and influence?
Absolutely.
The assets forfeiture fund. Oh, let's take a look at what the assets forfeiture fund is. So think about it. Any element of the DOJ, for example, ATF, FBI, DEA, when they go ahead and seize items from drug lords or you name it, right? From criminals, they go on auction, right? And so the money goes in. There you go. Let's take a look. Establish the Department of Justice as a forfeiture fund to receive the proceeds of forfeiture. Okay. So imagine how much money that is. And it's basically the only trace of the money and I guess what I would call the audit of that money. This information is not really public as far as I know. And it's really what she decides to document in what amount that asset forfeiture is actually worth, right? Isn't this massive?
It is. And let me ask you a question too while we're here. Was it this one? So
We'll go back. Yeah.
I've
Go
I've been
ahead.
under the assumption, that you have the attorney general and you have the director of the FBI, and then you have like the assistant director of the FBI and the assistant attorney general. A lot of times, these assistants are the ones that are running the show essentially behind the scenes more than the front person. No?
Right. And I'm going to make my case to America how she is the most. You asked me about Todd Blanche.
Yes.
I think this individual right here wields far more influence and power and leverage through 18 years. And we're going to read it together. I mean, this is on the DOJ's own website. In your face. This is deep state defined when it comes to DOJ. So let's go through this real quick, if you don't mind, because
I
this is
don't.
how important this is.
I don't. Do you think
Okay.
she's just really quick? Do you think she's SES, senior executive
Of
service?
course. I mean, all the AAGs are SES positions.
Oh, okay.
All right. Ms. Lori also oversees facilities, procurement, human resources, information resources. All right. Human resources. What does that mean? Hiring and firing policies of everybody. So if they want to hire a didn't earn it grad, meaning DEI, Well, she's going to facilitate and support that. Now, if you're a America only or an America first individual that's applying, she's going to create policies to make sure that you don't get into the Department of Justice. Why? Because she can. I'm not saying she does, but I think later on, as we read, you'll find out that that is probably true. All right, information resources, all the IT stuff, right? So does it mean that she probably has access to peek into people's emails and communications in order to build blackmail on anyone in the DOJ? On anyone in the DOJ?
Carte blanche, probably, right?
Hmm.
Carte
She's a key
blanche.
executive liaison with the appropriations subcommittees. Huh. So on the appropriations committee on the House side and the Senate side, she's a key executive liaison. She dictates the money flow and how much money comes into the DOJ, how it's allocated, how it's managed, and how it's documented and logged. Full stop. Okay. Use executive consolidated 7 separate financial systems into a single modern DOJ unified financial management system supporting all 40 components, serving 16,000 users. Okay. So she won some awards in 2009 under Barry Hussein, and 2015 under Barry Hussein. This prestigious award recognized her risk-taking, vision, and pioneering spirit in the federal information technology community. Okay. So Jolene has been she has been the department's controller since 2007, folks. That is 18 years
Obama
that
time.
she has been in the position to be able to manage, control, influence, dictate the financial system of the Department of Justice and later the human resources component of it.
Vince
He was the
Obama.
director of budget staff, deputy chief of financial officer, director of budget at NOAA. So anyway, you can read there.
Sounds
How
quite
much
deep
influence
statey.
does this lady have?
Sounds like a lot, and she sounds quite deep statey. All these credentials here are putting her in a position
Yes.
to oversee things. So why are we not louder about trying to get rid of this woman? And let me ask you this: can she be gotten rid of because of senior executive service? Because you remember under Trump, oh, he just wants to be able to fire anybody he wants to. It's like, well, he wants to be able to fire people that are going against what he wants to do outwardly, right? So
Well,
can they fire these
Pam
people?
Bondi, why would Pam Bondi fire someone like Jolene that tells her she's so beautiful and sounds so perfect on Fox News every day that she's on Fox News? Why would she do that?
Well, I
And
think
what
if she,
about Todd Blanche? You think he's going to fire her? Not if Todd Blanche wants to stay in his spot.
but can they be fired?
Well, anything's possible. It just requires courage. Okay? It requires knowledge and courage. So the knowledge part I can help facilitate and explain to every single listener and viewer here that Miss Jolene Ann Loria is in a very strong position to be the deep state's representative at the DOJ. I think people are starting to pick up on it because I've been saying this for months that like day one, all that would have had to been done to fix these institutions is to come in and say, all right, everybody that's unvaccinated, you can come into work tomorrow. Everyone that got the vax, the jab, your badge access is no longer. You can't come into work. And oh, by the way, if you do want to come into work, you got to write a sworn affidavit explaining who in the chain of command in the organization compelled and coerced you into the jab and what sources of information you used to take the jab. So then we can use all those thousands of affidavits of employees that want to come back to work and be good little lemmings now under a unvaxxed administration. And they can be used to go ahead and criminally prosecute everyone that coerced you into the unsafe and ineffective emergency use authorized products. But this beta cuck administration won't do that because they're shilling for big pharma, just like the previous one was.
Mm.
That's where we're at.
And now we got so now I've also heard oh geez, who was it talking about the other day? Saying somebody was saying basically so where do you lie that blame of the Maha, the MAGA health on? Do you lie that on Bobby Kennedy? Because I'm hearing some people are saying that, certain things from his past are being held over him, and blah 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 about his drug days and his womanizing days and whatnot. Maybe pressuring him to not do certain things or may. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, who's the architect of Operation Warp Speed and pounds his chest all the time and says boosters are great and brings in Albert Bourla into the White House as he gives him $70 billion, as he brings in Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates into the White House to have dinner with him, and endorses full-fledged endorsement of a Democrat COVID criminal to be the mayor of New York City? Was that Bobby Kennedy?
That sounds like Donald Trump to me.
Yeah, it's because it was, and it is.
That's your final line right there. President Trump could basically get rid of all these people essentially, and so that's my question. Originally, we didn't get back to is
Mhm.
can they fire these people? Like, say if they say I wanted to get rid of, and let's just say Pam Blondie, and I've been calling her that too. Say Pam Blondie wants to get rid of Jolene and Loria tomorrow. Can she say, "Hey, I want her fired. She's gone"? Because as I understand it, they cannot get rid of some of these people, these SES people. And that's what I've been led to believe. So I don't know if that's correct or not. So I know you have like vast depths on these things, and you've studied these things, and you know how the government works and whatnot. So can these people be summarily removed, or
Yeah, I
is there a
just
big
explained
process?
the way to do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but is that going to work? Like, you have to go get all these affidavits, and is that going to work though? I'm saying, like, can they just
Every,
outwardly?
I mean, every single solution that I present works, and it's probably the best and most efficient way to do it. Problem is that these individuals won't do it because they're one best case scenario, they're coward cucks. Okay, best case scenario, and there's probably a worst case. There's the worst case scenario is that they're perpetuating, they're complicit, they're just essentially riding out the clock, which they already have. Like I said, January 17th, the clock has already been ridden out. And then that's when they can hand it off and say, "Oh, we tried our best. We were fighting so hard against the deep state this last year. While I was on Fox News, all I did was fight the deep state by just barking on Fox News, giving more ratings to Paul Ryan's little outfit. As Hannity was making money, as Mark Levin was making more money. We were convincing all the lemming, low IQ, lemming Republican voters that I'm fighting so hard for you guys to go after the deep state." And unfortunately, shucks, now the Democrats are going to weaponize against us. So we're not going to get to accountability. Sorry, America. Just like the last decade.
And this lady's been in here since 2007. That is that. I mean, that tells me that she.
My solutions from January 20th stay the same today, but no one's doing them.
You're now. What was that? You want to give me a quick recap on that one?
Yeah. Day one, you walk in and you say, "You got the COVID jab? Guess what? You're not coming into work tomorrow. You want your job? You write a sworn affidavit explaining who coerced you into it and what sources of information you used to take the unsafe, ineffective DNA
Hmm.
mutilation injection platform or just the myocarditis making heart exploding jabs if it was J&J. That's simple. That'll cleanse the entire government.
Hmm. I guess I'm just not getting. I mean, so what you're saying is basically the only way to do that would be to get a bunch of people to write a deposition against this woman. Let's just
Let
say
me
she
let
was.
me slow it down for you.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but you're not coming out with an answer like saying without. All right, without these.
Imagine you're the attorney general, okay?
Okay.
You walk in, you come up with an internal policy saying, "I'm going to pull all the documents." Remember, the last administration monitored and tracked every single person that got a jab and every single person that didn't get a jab, okay?
Yeah.
So if you didn't get a jab, you come back to work the following day, okay? Meaning you are now elevated as a whistleblower or non-jabbed, right? And you're elevated to the most senior positions as an acting, okay? In that process, you're weeding out every single person that ended up being a non-critical thinking, jabbed idiot, okay? And you start to cleanse the system as people start to fear punishment for being dumb at a minimum or compelling and coercing someone else into an unsafe and ineffective product. Assault, battery, and if they died from it, then you get charged with murder, right? But before you can do criminal stuff, you can still do administrative actions against these individuals, okay? That compelled and coerced the jabs within their organizations. Plenty of policies to use against, hey, you injured an employee of yours. Here's the evidence. And oh, by the way, here's the evidence because the sworn affidavits of those that got injured, that want to come back into work, is there. So we clean sweep the whole thing. So instead of having 20,000, I should say 19,000 scum in our DOJ and 1,000 maximum, even maybe a couple hundred that are totally legit, that didn't bend the knee and pushed back against the tyranny over the last 5 years, you want to elevate them to the maximum positions in your organization. And then remove those that complied with the unsafe and ineffective orders and illegitimate orders so that you don't have 19,000 people working against you, okay? They must all be removed. DOJ, FBI, you name the department, because it applied to the whole government pretty much, right? Same thing at the Department of War. Every single general and admiral right now in existence, they do not belong in the Department of War because they participated in the forced, compelled DNA mutilation experimentation on the force, creating the biggest treasonous, seditious conspiracy, genocidal act to destroy our national security. Like the whole litmus test here is jabbed versus unjabbed. If you got jabbed, you do not belong in my federal government because you are not critical thinking enough, or you're just too cowardly to push back against that. Now you could have done it on your own volition, cognition. Okay, you got it wrong. So hindsight 2020, great. Well, you can work in the civilian sector. Okay, you can be dumb somewhere else. You have not earned the right to work for me, meaning in my government. That applies to president on down.
That was some tough times. And thankfully I never took it, and a lot of people did listen, but unfortunately I had some family members that, were pressing. I have one family member who's a social worker at a hospital, so she thinks she's a PhD doctor, who was, telling all the other family members, take these jabs. And guess what the result for her was? Well, she had a spot in her brain she had to have removed. She had a stroke because she got like 4 or 5 of them. Well, I was telling everybody not to take them. And that was a nice little fun Thanksgiving a few years back. Can we not talk about this? So I get that, believe me.
We must talk about it every year at Thanksgiving coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We must remove every single jabbed person in this government. Legislative branch, executive branch, and judicial branch. So that means you listening in must run for the House. Because in order to stop this lawlessness and the off the rails that's going on the last couple weeks, we need to have an America-only House of Representatives with an America-only Speaker of the House that can go scorched earth against treasonous members of the House by expelling them, going after scum in the executive branch that refuse to create accountability. We're going to consider them as accessories after the fact. If you're not creating accountability for the last 11 years of scum, you're now an accessory after the fact. And with impeaching judges of the Article 3 branch of government. Right now, we have a no Johnson and no balls Mike Johnson. Excuse me. No balls, no Johnson Johnson.
I agree. And I think a lot
It's
of us
because
want to
the
see.
entire house is pretty much captured as a Israel first, Ukraine first, China first, Palestine first, self mutilation first, family mutilation first conference, both Democrat and Republican.
Believe me, you got a lot of people that agree with. We want to see some action and moving on this stuff too. Um, a lot of people do not like how they are being weak on it, and I think there's a lot of people in the chat. I think almost everybody in the chat will agree with the fact of what you said earlier about the Democrats don't play by the rules, right? And then so they're trying to do this like kind of
Right,
you know,
exactly.
you're kind of trying to skirt around it. No, we're trying to do this, but I think they do need to go skirt up, and I think a big part of it also, and we can lay blame on the administration as well, but I think a big part as well is this narrative out there of the media, right? Like, I mean, when did it become okay to basically? Well, we know when it came okay to basically run ops on the population, which I think is BS. I think if you're news, you should be labeled and sussed out as the news, and you should be held to a higher standard of telling the actual truth rather than just running hit pieces and lies and being political. That's a major problem because you have certain people that will just have a certain perspective on somebody because they keep basically ramming that down somebody's throat for years and years and years. So that's a big part of it as well, I believe. And I know you did a lot of work on this too, and I know you did. And I'm like, oh man, hope he's not going to do like he did on Red Pill Show and quiz me on the Crossfire Hurricane names. I'm like, that was 7 years ago. I said I can't go. I got my book down here. I said I can't go down that road again. But this one is
that
a big
was my
thing.
first epic interview.
Yeah, that
Thanks
was good.
to Zach.
That was a good one. Zach's a good dude, a good friend. And so this stuff here too. The whole Pelosi thing. It's beyond disgusting at this point. It really is. The whole January 6th
ask me
thing.
away. Like, what do you want to know?
Oh, what do I want to know? Well, her daughter's coming up for senator now. That's going to be great. But the idea now, am I remembering this incorrectly? Did they not offer? Was there not a letter to offer staging of National Guard troops? Am I misremembering that? And then basically, to be clear, Mariel Bowser, to be clear, we are not asking for National Guard
Am
troops
I able
to
to
be
share
there.
my screen?
You absolutely could. Let me just stop sharing mine, and you can start sharing yours. Just make sure if you're gonna share anything with audio, just click the audio button on the right. I don't know if you use Zoom
Let me
a lot.
see
or
here.
not.
Share.
Here, and then pick your
Screen
monitor.
two.
And then there's a button to the right that
Wait,
says
before we
audio
do
if you
that,
need
I
it.
just want to make sure that we got. Did I mess that up? I think I did. Dang it.
No, you're good. I'm still seeing you, but
No, I just closed every single tab that I had open instead of the Zoom thing.
But I've gone to go live and hit the close room out instead of go live button before. So you're talking to a
See if I can
technical
recover.
non-wizard over here.
No.
Something I can look up for you, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more work. It took me like 10, 15 minutes to get all those tabs ready and rocking and rolling. So
Might be saved in your where you're going into whatever browser you were using, browser history. Ding ding ding. That's coming from a low tech me.
no.
Well, you got take your time, but there's no rush. I'm gonna play a 40-second video here of so you got at least a good minute. I'm gonna play the little clip of Nancy Pelosi and her daughter in the limo while you get that going. So
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste time on that. So,
not gonna find it, no.
missed opportunity, massively missed opportunity.
Oh. Here. Well, if you find it and you want to do it up again, but this is obviously, we've seen this clip numerous times. This is her saying, no, 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 we should have known. It's like, you did know what was going on. They knew what was going on. And
yeah, before you play that, to answer your question, I was going to bring up the receipts for this. But bottom line is that Donald Trump, when he was president, authorized 10 to 20,000 National Guard troops for January 6th. Now, the construct of that is, I mean, I've done thousands of hours of interviews on this thing, but just to recap, the president does not have the ability to order anybody in the executive branch to enter the legislative branch's sovereign territory, meaning the Capitol grounds, without their permission. Same thing as the president ordering active duty into a state. It has to be with the permission of the governor, okay? Same thing. So when it comes to DC, that applies two ways. He's got to get authorization from the DC mayor and the Speaker of the House and Senate Majority Leader, because they're the ones that run those two the bicameral institution known as the legislative branch. So he can offer it, but he can't deploy them without permission. That is Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell's job. Well, Nancy Pelosi never requested it until the Fedsurrection was successful. There you go.
Yep. And then
she blamed the delay was because of Donald Trump.
No.
It's because of the Nancy Pelosi pooch, the Fedsurrection, the Nancy-rection, the Pelosi pooch.
The Pelosi pooch. And do we have a final?
I've written Substack articles about all this stuff in detail ad nauseum years ago.
Now this is this part of it is kind of getting updated lately. Do you have a basic rough count, or maybe you have the exact count? I don't know. What are we up to as far as FBI agents or federal government agents that were there at the time? Were we in the 200s now?
So according to Cash's releases to the Congress, 274.
Nice.
FBI.
That is just absolutely ridiculous.
But you got to remember, though, this was not an FBI-led op. FBI supported a Pelosi Capitol Police Board, U.S. Capitol Police op that they were subordinate to, they being FBI.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on the pipe bomber incident? Because I know we have some people out there saying that it's this woman from the Capitol Police, the gate analysis.
You want to play the video of me and Ann Vandersteel?
Yeah, let me find it quick.
Yeah, go to Ann Vandersteel's page and then just do a search for pipe bomb.
Boom, boom.
On X there. And then that's pretty much my response to that. Quick short video.
And come on, where are you? I know a follower. The Ann with an E or just an A with the two N's?
Just put in Vandersteel, it should come up.
There we go. Here we go.
And then within her, just search in there.
There we go.
Within her profile.
Ding.
I just type in, pipe bomb. Come up.
Hot bomber.
Right there, first one.
This one right here? Okay. And I don't know if you guys are having issues with X the last couple of days, but I am having major issues. If I try to open up my DMs, it shuts the whole thing down.
There's a little censorship and updates going on.
Here we go. I get a nice account, dude, where I'll get like 10 followers one day, 20 the next, and then for the next 3 days I start losing followers. So it's actually really fun. It's this game of cat and mouse. But here we go.
So we just had an amazing Veterans Day parade. General Flynn out here. Hey, you! You're the pipe bomber! You're the pipe bomber! Look at that gay gate! Stop being so gay! Why are you being gay? Why are you running away? Why are you being so gay? Let me see who you are! Let me see who you are! Stop right there! You're not gonna get away with it this time. Raiklin! Raiklin, it's you! Get him! You gotta get him! It's the pipe bomber! It's the pipe bomber! You're not getting away from me, Raiklin! Who put you up to it? Who put you up to it, Ivan? Give me...
Clacking on those boots.
You're going the wrong way.
So it was you.
No! Somebody stop the pipe bomber! Stop him! Stop him!
They give me a seizure with all the zooming in and out.
I'm not letting him get away. I'm calling.
Are we gonna get to an interview part of this, or is
DC,
she gonna chase you the whole time?
he's really got to step up his game with the KGB.
Well, I'm running towards the Fairchild
Raiklin.
building.
Back to headquarters.
You're a
That's where U.S.
Headquarters.
Capitol Police is located.
This is back to headquarters.
Oh, yeah?
That's where U.S. Capitol, right there, Fairchild building. That's where U.S. Capitol Police offices are.
Not getting away from me, Raiklin. Oh, we got him. The pipe bomber, right here. It's been this guy the whole time. Did you see how gay his gait was? Very gay. Very gay. It's over, Raiklin. It's over. Go back to Brennan. Go back to Clapper.
Go back to Pelosi.
Go back to Comey.
I'm gonna go back
Nancy.
there to talk to Nancy. She'll save me.
Nancy will
Because
save
guess
you.
what? We're in U.S. Capitol Police's jurisdiction.
That's right.
So guess
You're
what?
safe.
They can charge
The owl, huh? You love that symbolism too.
me with littering,
That's right.
and that's it.
There you go.
All right. So obviously you're making fun of the gate stuff, and we had I don't even know who the guy was. It Blaze Media affiliate or whatever that had the quote gate analysis, and it's 94%, and they said it was
Yeah,
the
everybody
woman.
saw that.
But now we had Cash that came out that made it sound like maybe that wasn't correct. So all we do know is the way they reacted
both
to it
people
was-
could be wrong and both people could be right. Here's what I'll say.
Okay.
It's just an analysis, right? So say, for example, you have best case scenario, 98% accurate assessment. Well, in a city of 700,000, what's 2%? 1,400? I guess they limited it down to 1,400 individuals, and they think it's that one individual that was alleged.
And what about this? Let me see. Do I even have?
But I'm making fun of it to basically teabag the Blaze, Steve Baker, Kyle Seraphin, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, all of them, right? Jim Jordan, all of them, because guess what? Still no results on the pipe bomber.
And didn't this guy have like cell phone data back like
Yeah.
a long time ago on this stuff? So
Mhm.
the outward story is what?
Yeah, I talked to him, Tony. Let me see.
And isn't the outward story that they're trying to say that the phone data is corrupted or something along those lines?
That's what the FBI says, but then the AT&T says it's not. And when you ask the person, the AT&T, they say, "Oh, it's FirstNet that owns the information," and FirstNet is a government contract. And let me go back here. The individual that worked at FirstNet that did the coordination for data with the government, I did pull his information up. I mean, I'm just gonna observe, because I can't. I think that there's enough people now interested in this story that I don't need to take the lead anymore. I'll let people kind of catch up to where I'm at, and if they get into if they plateau, and it looks like there's enough momentum the last few days, then if they plateau, then I'll jump back in and kind of help guide the investigation. But right now, I'm focusing on other things, particularly COVID accountability, because that's where there's not enough focus and effort, and that's kind of plateaued and lagged. So I'm gonna let these folks continue their quote unquote investigation before I have to step in, kind of be the adult, if you will.
Yeah, I believe me, and here's what I think is an important thing as well. Now, my question to you on this, as far as I understand it, and I agree, Tina Peters, in my opinion, is a hero for doing what she did, right? Getting a forensic copy of that thing before the
But
trusted
again,
build.
we got beta cucks
Now,
that
let
aren't
me,
willing to do the necessary thing, which is order the Federal Air Marshal Director, Mr. Seralta, and say, "Hey, go ahead and conduct a raid at about 2 or 3 in the morning of the Colorado prison that she's in, designate her as a federal witness to extract her." But no, they have to we're going to file a motion. We're going to request and beg the lawless, belligerent, illegitimate, insurrectionist governor of Colorado and his surrogates to please release our political hostage. I beg you. What do you need me to do? I'll kneel down and smile like a donut for you all day. Oh, sir, Mr. Polis, I know you're unlawful, but like, please, we're Republicans here. We want to beg you and plead with you because we're cucks. We want you to allow us to go ahead and transfer Tina Peters. That's what's going on.
So
If you were a real man, you would basically go into mission planning, and then you would order people to have a pair to go ahead and actually do that. The mission planning would be, all right, here's where she's located. This is where we extract her from. You don't want to release her by, say, for example, tomorrow at noon, we're going to physically remove her. I'm going to order all 4,000 of my federal air marshals back into mission planning mode to then deploy and conduct the mission. If Colorado wants to step up to the plate, guess what? Let's see what their rules of engagement are when all means necessary are ordered to extract my federal witness, Tina Peters. But no, we have coward cucks all throughout this administration.
Now, can simply
While she rots. Her blood is going to be on Donald Trump's hands if she dies in prison.
Let me ask you this. Can we simply label her, because I believe it's not even a mislabel, that she is a federal whistleblower in the elections, right? Can we simply label her that, and then she should be able to be removed? There shouldn't have to be a raid, no? Once she's made a whistleblower, a federal whistleblower.
Replay what I just said.
Well, you said go in and raid them with the air marshals.
No, not air marshals, federal marshals. They fall under the DOJ. So it would require Don to call Pam, to call Seralta, to then start the process.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, to make her, you said, obviously, we were talking about making her federal whistleblower, right? For the election stuff.
So it's easy. You file a criminal case against Jenna Griswold, okay, for obstructing and destroying evidence and obstructing justice. And these are federal, right? And for violating the retention requirement of ballots and papers related to the 2020 federal election. And as part of that case, Tina Peters is now a federal witness against Jenna Griswold, the Secretary of State of Colorado. And then you immediately pull Tina Peters out.
You should be able to get her, and you should be able to get her then at that point without, it shouldn't have to be a fight at that point, no? Once she's labeled, yeah, right? So there has to be a show of force. I agree.
They don't know any other way.
We need to stop. I'll use an old term from back in the day. You need to stop pussyfooting around this stuff and do what we know the Democrats would do and will do when and if they get back into power, right? Because they don't play by the rules, and they don't take prisoners, obviously, right? Well, obviously they do take prisoners. That's a bad choice of words in this context. But they'll do whatever they want to do, essentially, and the laws be damned, right?
Yep.
So
all right, so we got 1 minute left till 2.
So what can we do to get what is your best advice for the average person that can get up and get involved, and what can they do?
So right now, this is a lame duck presidency. Based on what I just said, January 17th is when the Democrats are going to start destroying him from Virginia and this entire admin. So now we need to start kind of looking beyond that into the 2026 election cycle. I need everybody listening in to run in your districts in the primary for a congressional seat. And if you're in a Democrat heavy district, then you run as a Democrat, as an America First Democrat. You take over the party. And if it's a Republican heavy district, then you do the same thing as a Republican. Best case scenario, you got 2 people from each district running in both the Democrat and Republican primaries, so that we create a America only uniparty to reject the foreign influenced, the big pharma influenced shills that are currently running rampant throughout the halls of Congress.
Get involved, get out, get involved, and get into it. And we do have a lot of people that are, running for. And now, what do you think would be the best first step, to get just local Congress? That would be the best.
Congress. Go
to Congress. Okay. Now, is that all the time you had today, Ivan? Because I got time. If you got to go, you can go. But I got time.
It's Sunday. I got to be dad.
Go do your dad thing. Yeah, you got a couple little guys too, right? Oh, dude. And
I can't be just mentoring the country here. I got to mentor my boys.
No, that's a good thing. Hey,
guidance counselor. I'm America's guidance counselor. Maybe that's the next thing I'll say. Guidance counselor. But this week should be interesting. John Brennan, we're going to go ahead and indict. We're going to have a press conference on Tuesday exposing maybe more of the Epstein stuff. So this administration is making a lot of mistakes, and I think you're going to see some of them really playing out this week.
Yeah, and you're going to have mixed results in the chat. But guess what, guys? I don't think there's a thing
I
don't think
direct all anger at me.
No, I don't. They can direct anger at me. I don't see an angle where you're not correct on this stuff, because they're going to go scorched earth, right? But you have to think, like, is Trump not wise to the fact you don't think that, if he doesn't take care of things before he gets out, he's screwed too?
I'll answer this. This will be the last question. So,
sorry.
Donald Trump, I'm an analyst, professional analyst, right? I used to teach intelligence analysis. The only hypothesis that makes sense to me right now on why Donald Trump is acting the way he's acting is because he is only caring about one thing: the Nobel Peace Prize. He could give two shits about anything else domestically. Okay? He wants that Nobel Peace Prize because he wants to be able to compare himself to Barry Hussein Obama that got it. And everybody globally knows that and is manipulating him to do things that are totally against everything he ran on in order to get the Nobel Peace Prize. There you go.
Nobel.
If anybody has any other ideas, please send them.
Hey, I appreciate your time, Ivan. Thank you for coming on, buddy. Have a good Peace out, buddy. Have a good night.
Right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy. Go mentor those kids. Interesting. So remember, guys, you're not gonna have always 100% of what you agree with, but you have to agree with a lot of things that if he, meaning President Trump, doesn't get active and get some of these things going. And, like I was trying to talk to him about in the beginning of the interview, which was, do we need to lay the narrative, right? Because if he goes in the first month, first 2 months, first 3 months, and just, oh, well, we just sat Pam Blondie, we just sat Cash in there, and, oh, we just perp walked these people immediately. I think you need to set the narrative on that. Now, can anybody tell me that they're really happy with the outward, okay, and I'm showing this air quotes, the outward information that we've gotten about Charlie Kirk incident, right? Are we happy? Are we content that has been explained to us well enough? Because I don't think so, right? How about the Thomas Crooks thing that came out the other day? Oh, no, he was just some dude working by himself. No big deal. I don't know if I buy that one either, guys. Right? Although I will say the funny thing about having Trump having the Ozempic people in there, guys. Did you guys catch that? Oh, hey, is this stuff good? Any bad stuff with this stuff? We'll let you know. And then the dude collapses. But I would say take information like he was saying, and let me pull this one up. We need to get loud about people like this woman right here. Is anything wrong about what he said about this woman being in the Department of Justice controller since 2007? 2007, guys. Let's see. Who was president in 2007? Anybody? Anybody? I'm Googling it just so, to be funny here. Let me tell you something. And then who followed him? And then we got Trump in there. This lady is still running the show. And remember, we've always talked about the assistant attorney generals or the assistant FBI director, right? The assistant is the one that's out there doing the investigations, doing the work, essentially all this, that, and the other. and you see by this woman's qualifications that she is into everything, guys. Absolutely everything. But like Ivan said at the end there, I thought it was interesting that they said that we are going to be indicting, if you notice that nomenclature, we are going to be indicting John Brennan this week. I thought that was interesting. And don't worry, guys, I got some more stories if you're interested. Stick around for a little bit. I'm always got 100 stories in the chamber. Let's pull this one up here. I thought this was funny. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but let me see. You know what? I'm going to pull it up quick. I'm going to show you. I'm going to see if it shows you the same on my phone as my computer here. All right, let's pop it up. And hey, Stormy Joe at Mar-a-Lago, bringing in the golden age. Beautiful. Look at how gorgeous that is in the background. Nice suit too, Joe. Nice, nice suit, Stormy. I like the little fade action. He's got the same on the shoes there. Looking pimpish. Looking pimpish. So earlier, I was just on my Twitter and, do the home. And if you guys ever notice, you have the following. So these are the people that you follow. And then for you, right? And I don't know, for whatever reason, I always get these things in my For You that it's just so anti-Trump all the time. But when I go on here and I'm starting to go down, like every single thing is about Epstein. All the true thinkers of Q have found the decode of God to be the truth, says Hulkinator. Here we go. And this is interesting, though. For me, you'd think it should be people that I follow, right? But these are the ones that it should be the following. For you, on my phone right here, and I'll actually do it as I keep Hulk's thing up here. I'll just read off the top few stories that I see here on X, and you're going to be like, what in the world? Because I was like, wait, what am I looking at earlier? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'm on the wrong tab here. Like every other story was Epstein, Trump, Epstein. Brian Krasenstein, Thomas Massion, vote. The record of this vote will last longer than Trump's presidency. Let's see, the next one here, like left and right. Kash Patel, we're going to see some people held accountable for January 6th grand conspiracy. We're going to play that actually in a minute. And geez, I don't know if you guys are having the same problems on your Twitter as I am, but on mobile, if I even open up this box right here, the DMs immediately crashes. So let's listen to a little bit of this, guys. And remember, this is not the biggest Trump fan, Michael Wolff here.
At that point, Epstein's legal problems began. The police began to investigate him over allegations that he was, that there were underage women coming to his house. Epstein believed that it was Trump who first informed the police about what was going on at Epstein's house. And from that point on, they were nothing but bitter enemies.
And this is what he's telling you. This is one of the instances of what he's telling you. That,
yes.
That the following
yes,
happened.
That is the version of this related by.
Oh, the hoax yesterday.
What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times.
Comes across as calling the whole thing a hoax.
It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. What he's talking about is the Democrats who are doing this with impure motives. If they cared so much about this, why didn't they do something during the 4 years of the Biden administration when the Biden DOJ had all the records? They didn't say a word about it. Now they're doing it for political purposes.
Our current president has had relationships with Epstein in the past, and there are those...
And so here's the prosecutor, guys. Back in the day, this is the actual prosecutor that covered the Epstein case. And down the bottom, this is an Epstein message from GMax, looks like Ghislaine Maxwell, to Jeffrey Epstein at jeevacation@gmail.com. Subject, I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. Well, we also have Virginia saying, nope, Trump never did anything. Ghislaine Maxwell says the same. And the prosecutor here says as well that Trump was the only person.
Katie Johnson and maybe other victims who've accused Trump of being involved in things like this. In my experience, Trump supporters will not listen to anything along those lines. Obviously, we're not a court of law here right now, but are those claims of though that case was dropped, it was dropped before it went to court. In your opinion as a lawyer and your experience, is there anything you can say as to the validity of those claims or whether or not there will be any more about that?
Nothing at all. The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
And that was in 2009?
That was in 2009. So,
do you know if there's any truth to James Patterson's claims that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago?
I've definitely heard that.
Interesting, right? All this stuff is all over Twitter these last couple days. I don't know why I'm labeling what I labeled these ones here. Trump just told everyone what game is being played. The Epstein push is not about Epstein. It's a manufactured distraction deployed at the exact moment, remember, when the shutdown was stopped. They needed their shutdown fiasco covered. They lit the fire that burns $1.75 trillion in damage across the country, and now they're scrambling for anything that keeps eyes off their failure. Trump is framing it cleanly. Do not take the bait. Don't chase the decoy. Let's listen to this one. Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country while at the same time putting many at risk. They should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republicans involved should be focused on opening up our country and fixing the damage, the massive damage caused by the Democrats. So I believe, these people are going to keep trying to push this stuff even when they know there's no there, right? They absolutely know this, but they're going to keep pushing this crap. This is a good little video. Hopefully I don't get a YouTube copyright strike. It's a short, though. Hopefully, let's see if I got any music on this thing or anything like that. All right, so I'll just read it because it's got some stupid music that will probably get me a copyright violation. Lab experiment. Scientists put 100 black ants and 100 red ants in a jar. Sounds like racial profiling to me. All right, so 100 black ants, 100 red ants in a jar, and they coexisted peacefully. Then somebody comes over and shakes the whole jar hard. The ants turn on each other instantly. The black blame the red blame the black. Grad student Emma noticed. She stopped shaking. Minutes later, the fighting ceased. Ants rebuilt as one colony, and the professor dismissed it. Just insects. Emma quit, now teaches conflict resolution with that footage, shows hostile groups. You are not each other's enemies. 12 years later, her method is used in 40 countries, and that jar sits on her desk. Ants go on lesson alive. And before we fight with each other, even Democrats and Republicans, guys, we should be asking, who is shaking us? Aha. Right? And it's always, oh, no, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's the Republicans. No, it's the Democrats. We are being drilled down to a specific mindset, just like the Democrats are being drilled down to a specific mindset. And I believe the wants of our side are just, we want freedom and we want to be left alone, right? We don't want to be overburdened with anything, whether it be stress, taxes, finances, whatever, right? We just kind of want to be left alone. it seems like the other side, when they get into power, they want to destroy everything and they want to ruin the country, right? They want to just flood in the country and they don't really care of the repercussions and what it does. So I do agree that, like a lot of what Ivan was saying, that they need to kind of man up because they're not going to play nice when they get back into power. Now, does that mean that there's nothing going to happen between now and, say, midterms? My guess is, and my hope is, that there is going to be some major changes by the time midterms come swinging around. Like, oh, I don't know, within these next few months, like he mentioned as he was on the way out, talking about people like Brennan being indicted and stuff like that, right? So we know Comey's been indicted. Bolton was, right? I know they said he was going to be. I'm pretty sure he has been. And now we're going to have Brennan as well. Are they going to bring Clapper in? He seems to me, guys, what do you think? Let me know in the chat. Out of all these three guys, Brennan, Clapper, and Comey, who's the weak link that turns on the other guys? Who's your opinion of the weakest link? Like, hey, we got three of you guys. We need some testimony from one of you on the other two. Like, we need some insight to that, meeting or whatever. Who's going to be the guy who folds on the other? Will it be Comey? Will it be Brennan? Will it be Clapper? If you had to guess, and if that case did come to fruition, who would be the guy that is weak in the knees? AF Medic says Comey right off the bat. Let me get to the other chats here. Pull some of these up here. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, actually, let me get. Go YouTube. Let's see what the YouTube folks are doing and how many people we got even watching here. 287 guys. Comey. Right, check that out. We got 151,000 followers, subscribers, wonderful world patriots over there on YouTube. 151,000 guys. But we got 283 people watching. Okay? We have 37.5 thousand wonderful world patriots over on Rumble, and there's 765 watching over there. Now you tell me, is YouTube dead or is YouTube dead? All right, and let's see what the chat says over here. Michael Obama's rant on white women and straight hair. Yeah, that was crazy, Bean. That was bad. We're keeping. I'm gonna play that one. We're doing our hair to stay white, to stay straight. Because of you white women. It's like, who told you? Nobody told you need to have your hair straight, lady. All right, and then so Bean came out with Clapper. William Rowley, The Great Divide, came out with Clapper. That's my guess as well, guys. JS 49 or JS 4980. I'm not going to read the last numbers because apparently YouTube adds 3 4-digit numbers to the end of everybody's name now. But JS said Comey. Bean says no Clapper. Rudy says Comey. Brianna Eavis GFX. Who's that? Oh, Bree, what up? Just joking. Of course, we love and know Bree here. Let's see. Back over to let me check out the foxhole.app and see what you guys and gals are saying over here. Ding ding ding. Hulkinator's live right now? I'm gonna have to raid him when I go. Let's see. Captain Mike says Clapper. United We Stand over on the foxhole says Commie. I think he means call me, but I get it because he is a commie. For sure. And I think that's it over there. Captain Mike says Clapper. I like the pictures. I like the pictures, guys. Let's see. Yeah, Dylan Dennis was shaking somebody's jar last night. I guess he got into a fist fight at the UFC, and that was a great. Oh my God, that was a great event. So many knockouts. Head kick, knockout. Punched in the head, knockout. All right, let's see. Corny. Just Janet says corny. Dina Marie says Comey. So corny is Comey. Janet is labeling it as they do inside of the DOJ documents. Thank you, Nomad EQ. I won't watch you on ScrewTube anymore. And this is great, and thank you for that reminder. Because I don't want to go live on YouTube if the people that are watching on YouTube. So let me ask you this. This is basically for the YouTube people that are watching right now. If I did not have this video on YouTube right now, would you be watching this on Rumble right now? Yes or no, please. And this is helping me. Know where to the podcast going forward, because I'd much rather just stay on Rumble. But if the people that are watching me on YouTube are only watching me on YouTube and they wouldn't watch me on Rumble, then I'm going to still go live on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? So let me know. Oh, real Colin. Mike Gill exposed you all. Who's you all? Who's you all? Want to explain that one for me there, dipshit? All right, so let's see. What was my question? My question was, if I was watching here, my question was, would you be watching me on Rumble? So if I was not on YouTube, would you be watching me on Rumble? And so I got yes, no, no, yes. Watching on both, yes, yes, no. Probably not, yes. Honestly, no, nope. Not to Rumble, no. Am I on YouTube? Yes, of course. No, negative. Yes, I could. YouTube interface is faster, but hate ads and censors. Well, apparently they both have ads and censors. Mr. Anderson says Rumble sucks in Canada. Jenny Lee says it's difficult on Rumble. So just do me a favor, guys. If you guys, if you follow me on Rumble and you see me go live on Rumble, watch me over there. But if you simply can't, and you do, well, you just, obviously watch on YouTube. So, Rumble overheats your tablet and kills your battery, Rudy? Really? Might be an issue with your tablet, brother. I don't know. Thank you, Jagged Little Red Pill says, yeah, I love that you're back on YouTube, where I first started watching you back in 16-17. Yeah, I like the platform here on Rumble. I definitely do like it. And the chat's easy. Let me see, can I click it? Yeah, and on Rumble, you can click the person's name in the chat. So if you click on their screen name, like Mad Max, I'll just click on that and say, hi, Bing. And then all of a sudden, the chat comes up. So this is one thing that I don't see them doing on YouTube, which is like, here, let me click Doxter. Just click his name. Hi, Bing. Right, and I don't think you can do that on YouTube that I'm aware of. If you can, maybe I'm just not high tech. Let's see. Ding, ding. Let's bring in YouTube. Click on that. Click the name, and then it gives me an option to put the user in timeout, add as moderator, but cannot chat. I think it does. Does it self-populate though? Feel. Yeah. It does. Okay. So it will start to populate. Interesting. Oh, real Colin. Flynn, J6 Trap, Pandora's Box. What is Pandora's Box? Real Colin, please enlighten us all. What is Pandora's Box? What's in Pandora's Box? Does Mr. Gill explain that right? Like, what is that? What is Pandora's Box exactly? So as far as I understand, what this guy's talking about is the fraud that was going on in New Hampshire. And the guy Mike Gill said that Bill Shaheen and these guys were all basically corrupt, and that he had given the information up. And essentially, from what I understand, is the same nonsense that's going on in New Hampshire with Bill Shaheen is not an isolated incident and is going on in many different states. So whereas this Mike Gill guy wanted to basically make it all about New Hampshire, apparently it's a countrywide situation. So they're making it sound like, oh, well, it's only here in New Hampshire and nothing's being done about it. It's like, no, they know the same exact crap's going down in New Mexico, Arizona, all those areas, working with the cartels. You guys remember the whole thing about the cartels with the mortgages and stuff like that, how they were buying up these mortgages, buying up houses essentially because they got so much money that they need to do something with all that money, right? So yeah. But I find it interesting that people, like, let's say I don't know, you believe in Bigfoot or you don't believe in Bigfoot, it doesn't really matter. All right. I vehemently disagree. I'm just saying this, to make a point here. I vehemently disagree with anything that is Bigfoot. Okay? Bigfoot. So here, what am I going to do with my day today? Oh, can't even spell. Bigfoot. Oh, God. You know what? Scariest Bigfoot encounter. I'm going to go watch this.
Imagine being...
Wait. Why am I watching this? Oh, because I don't like Bigfoot. So similarly, why are you in my chat if you're here to complain the whole time? So, oh, hey, I don't like Bigfoot. Oh, you guys are idiots. Blah, blah, blah. This is essentially what you're doing. You're wasting your time in here because nobody wants to hear what you got to say, buddy. And so to sit there and just reply over and over and just be negative, like, why would you waste your time doing that? Why waste your time on something you don't agree with and you don't line up with? I just don't get it. Some people, guys, it's just so funny. Let's see. This the one. I'm going to show you this one here first. And I agree with this one because, let's see, pull this one up. This was from 4 days ago, and let's see. Let's let this play, and then I'll comment.
Country. I also want to call for a termination to the filibuster so that this could never happen again. If we had the filibuster terminated, this would never happen again. And don't forget, we have another date coming up in the not too distant future. We can never let this happen again. And we should be able to pass really great legislation. So I say terminate the filibuster because, by the way, the Democrats will do it immediately if they ever assumed office, which hopefully they won't.
So the filibuster, guys, thoughts? I think he needs to stop playing Mr. Nice Guy and just start ramming his policies down their throat. Get rid of the filibuster. Let's start passing some laws instead of executive orders. Let's get enough people here to vote for the same thing till we can vote a lot of these things into laws. Because guess what? He's right. Once these people, if they ever get back into power, they're not going to play nice, and they're not even going to play by the rules. Right? So it's going to be a big, big problem. And that's one part of the equation I don't agree with Ivan about is President Trump here. I think he understands that if he doesn't square this stuff away by the time he leaves office, that yes, him and his family are going to be targeted. Like, do you think he's that stupid where he doesn't understand that? And just remember, Ivan is, I've heard him use the word in the past, Q-tards and stuff like that, right? So I think he doesn't fall in line with any of that whole thing, the plan or anything like that. And it would be less than 10 people, and people would not be read into that situation. But on the same point, you do need people out there lighting a fire under the military or the government's ass, essentially saying you need to get this stuff taken care of. Right? I think we all can agree that we'd like to see things moving along a little bit quicker. But at the same time, I understand that I believe that these guys have war gamed a lot of these things and to do things in the correct time, because you can't deny the fact that a lot of these things are coming back just coincidentally back into the fold lately. Like all these investigations, the Crossfire Hurricane stuff, the Arctic frost, the pipe bomber, the election, January 6th in general, right? All this stuff is being covered in the last... I don't know, 3 months or so. Like, it all seems like it's dovetailing quite nicely together. So let me play something for you, because I have to go run to the little boys' room. But I'm going to play a little video for you. Oh, you're going to love this one, guys. You're going to love this one. And believe me, I'm not playing this to... not playing this to be on his side of this. This is me laughing at this little wuss. Because remember, and you're going to see once I reveal who we're talking about here, this guy who thought everything was so funny and thought he was the man and went and testified before a fraudulent committee, he's now the victim, guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Who am I talking about? Oh, Mikey Fanone. Yes. Listen to this little sap. minute and a half here. Boom.
I hope no American has to experience what I've experienced, in that I've gone from dedicating 20 years of my life to the profession of law enforcement, only to become a victim of the Department of Justice and of our criminal justice system, and have nowhere to seek relief. I don't call the police anymore when I'm threatened or antagonized, because I know that they're not going to do anything. And they have said as much. I mean, I've reported threats to the FBI, nothing, absolutely nothing. And so I don't depend on the criminal justice system in this country to keep me and my family safe. So that's the first component. The second one is that, the rewriting of the history books, painting me as the perpetrator, as the villain, painting, other police officers as the villain, and painting the insurrectionists, the traitors to this country, as the heroes in the story, allows more people to feel that it's okay to threaten me, to threaten members of my family, and to direct violent, hate-filled acts at us, and feel justified in doing so because Donald Trump and the Republican Party says that that's okay because he's a villain, he's a traitor. You guys are the heroes.
Oh, I gotta go look at the chat on this one because I'm sure you guys are loving him. Yes, he was the Capitol Police guy. Row Patriot. Yep. Michael Fanone, guys. Oh, maybe we should do some live digging on him. Fanone. So if you guys don't remember, okay. One of the ways you know the left is utterly depraved is by who they lift up as their heroes. Today they're celebrating this dirtbag, Michael Fanone. This is Charlie Kirk's post, by the way. They're celebrating this dirtbag. I'll read this here. Here we go. Michael Fanone, who just shamelessly likened the Trump indictment to killing Osama bin Laden. He's the Dems' chosen January 6th Capitol Police spokesperson who likes to party at the White House with Hunter and has a rich daddy lawyer with connections to the Democrat Party. If you Google him, it's clear someone has scrubbed the results to paint him as a completely sympathetic, saintly victim. He's a complete phony. Ryan J. Riley post out, these people, Sergeant or whatever, are all in the courthouse for Donald Trump's arraignment. They'll watch from an overflow room. Michael Fanone is not here for Trump's arraignment, but he sends his regards. So he's the victim now, guys. Remember, he was the badass, wannabe cop there. Yeah. Now he's a sniveling, crying moron. Traitor to our country. You are a traitor to our country, buddy. Sorry, but you are. He had to have known what the hell was going on in all that situation. Had to know. Sorry, don't feel sorry a bit for this guy at all. Let me see what the chat's saying. Pelosi's poodle. That's right, Lanny Lou. Pelosi's poodle. How about over on the YouTubes? Yes, Jagged Little Pill. He won't escape his eternal punishment. God wins. Patriot News Broadcasting. Howdy, brother. What's up? Multitasking. Yep, and that's right. Mark says the other side always hits us like that, which means they take no prisoners. They don't hold back, right? See what the folks over here on Pild are saying. Yep, Norwegian Wood says Pelosi's pet. And Mad Hat, this is a good question. I'm wondering if the setup is for this isn't what is behind the shit behind MTG suddenly, and Rand Paul for that matter. And then Mad Hat wrote, yeah, Marjorie is apparently making a lot of money in trades as well. And this is also could be a very good highlighting exercise as well, right? Because I think, some of the things they're talking about certainly do need to be addressed, right? We can't just sit there and say, yeah, Trump does everything 100% perfect, and, he basically can do no wrong, right? Like, you can't look at anybody like that. You have to look at everything critically. So I clearly don't like the way the whole thing has been going from, the Charlie Kirk incident, the Trump assassination attempt incidents, plural, right? I don't like how those have sussed out, so to speak. I don't like the Maha stuff and the implications that, you know, RFK may be holding back. We'll see how that stuff plays out. But I do think they're highlighting certain things. And, you know, I said that jokingly about Massey, guys. I thought it was just so funny. It's like, obviously not the part about his wife dying being funny, but all of a sudden he's got this new look. He's tan. He's got a beard. He's no longer wearing his glasses. He looked like he dropped 15 pounds or so. And I said jokingly, hey, I wonder if he's got a new little hottie in his life. Ha 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 ha. Well, turns out he did. And he got married. Isn't that crazy? You know, lonely. Maybe he was a lonely guy or whatever, you know. Long time with his wife that was sick, but figure a little bit of time of mourning. Nah, nope, we're going to just get married, then we're going to go after Donald Trump. But again, I think there is some validity to some of the things they're saying. But is there a point behind that? I do believe there are points behind that. Oh, this is crazy, guys. This is absolutely bananas. I'm surprised. I should have started with some of this stuff. And hopefully, yeah, you know what, YouTube? I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to kick off the YouTube. I'm only gonna be doing like another 10 minutes, anyways, or so, maybe 15. But this part, let me see really quick if it's a copyrighted thing here. Give me 1 sec. Here we go. Because this is a post from, and Joe Rambo sent this over. And I'm like, holy crap. Let me see. I just have to see if this looks like it's copyrighted or if it's not. Who made this thing? Yeah, it looks like it's a Fox News thing. So I might catch some crap. So I'm going to say farewell to YouTube, guys. You guys are more than welcome to come over and say hello over on Rumble if you'd like to. I'll drop you guys the link. But I catch enough crap over there on the YT side. Must be well behind. So there you go, guys. There's the link for that one. I'm going to say goodbye to the YouTube folks. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play you an outro right now as to not disturb the flow of the rest of the stuff here. But let me go into studio here, Bing, and check this out. This is always, I'm telling you guys, it's more trouble than it's worth being over here on YouTube. It really is. But thank you guys for tuning in on the YouTube side, and everybody else. I'm just getting rid of the YouTube. Thank you, Jagged Little Pill. It says, made my heart smile to see you back on YouTube for sure. Appreciate that one. I really do. It's glad to be back. I just wish, we were getting the momentum. We had the momentum that we did back in, 18 and 19, but they did put a good kibosh on the end of that one for us. They did stop our momentum right when it was picking up the most. Oh, and I got a video I can actually share with you on that one in a little bit. So yeah, come on over to Rumble, guys, over there on YouTube. So bye-byes. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you to the mods who are over there on the YouTube side. Much love. Peace out, YouTube. We are done.